Hey guys, what's up? It's My Reviews R1 again with a look at an exciting new product, at least for me anyway. That's right, I got the iPod Nano 5G here in my hand. Well, it's the box in my hand. Now the iPod Nano 5G is in my hand, and I got this iPod Nano. Really, I just wanted an iPod Nano. And actually, it turned out I liked it more than I figured. And it turned out to be a way better iPod, really, than, in my opinion, it's just as good as the Touch. If not better than previous models of the Touch. Now, obviously, the 4th generation did come along here and gave it a good run for its money. But this 5th generation iPod Nano is fantastic. This is part of my TV, which is, sadly, here on the desk. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. So, like I was saying, here's the iPod Nano itself. Now, one thing that I like about the previous iPod Nanos and the iPod Touch and stuff is it tells you how many gigs you have on the back. Now, the 5th generation does not tell you how many gigs you have on the back of it. Like, on the 4th generation, there was a little square, and it said, like, 8 or 16 gigs in it. Or, like, the 3rd generation, you know, the one with the big screen and the small click wheel. It also said, you know, like, 4 or 8 gigabytes on it, on the back of it. You know, here it's just, like, a long thing. Anyway, it is insanely thin. I mean, thinness is fantastic. Here's an iPod Touch. You know what, let's ditch the case. I mean, even a silicone case can make it look thicker than it is. Here's the iPod Touch. Very, very thin. Very portable. Here's the iPod Nano. Super thin. Disappears in your pocket. Fantastic. I mean, and it disappears in your pocket in a good way. See, look at that. Look at how thin the iPod Nano is. Now, the other thing I like about the iPod Nano is all the different color selections you have for it. I mean, you can pick like 10 or 12 colors with the 5th generation model only. Now, let's get on to that actually. With the 6G, the color selection is very basic. You can get about 6 different colors, plus the 7th being the Apple product red, but you have to buy it in the Apple Store or online from Apple to get the product red iPod Nano. And the Touch only comes in black here, like my black one, or it comes in white. You probably know what the white ones look like because, you know, the iPhone and the iPad are white and they look exactly the same. Anyway, so inside the box we get various gizmos and stuff that come with it. Really nothing fancy. Here's the user's manual. It's not in fancy color like the iPod Touch, but it gets down to the point. Very simple. But Apple products are fairly easy to figure out how to use anyway. For example, hold on. I'm going to compare this with yet another device. If I can get it here. Here we go. Yeah, let's compare this to one more device real quick. Over here with me, I have a Samsung Galaxy player. So let's just add that to the picture. So here you can kind of see with those white iPods, the white iPod, the white iPhone 3GS. This is actually styled just like a white iPhone 3GS for all you iPhone people out there who, you know what I'm talking about there. Anyway, the box is very nice and thin. I really prefer Apple's boxes over those Android ones that are real boxes. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's how thin it is. And here's another device. It's it's really thick, actually. Anyway, Galaxy Player 4.0. I'll be doing a review of this, don't worry. Anyway, let's get on to the iPod Nano itself and what we got on it. So up along the top, we have this little switch here. Basically, all that does is it makes the iPod Nano's click wheel totally pointless. Yeah, that's really all it does. We got menu, back arrows, forward arrows, and the pause and play button. And pretty much everyone knows how to use an iPod Nano, but if you don't, you just scroll your finger like that. It's not hard to figure out. Very thin profile. Apple logo on the back. But down here, you'll notice a camera, which at the time, the iPod Nano was the only iPod to feature a camera. So this is great to have this video camera back here. And it's got a little microphone back there as well, which means that you could record things that you couldn't do on the iPod Touch, second generation or third, even the first generation, which was nowhere near as fantastic as the second or third. But you'd have to plug in these microphone sets, and this here you could just walk into class and sit it down and start recording the lectures or whatever. That is what it appealed to many people as. But in this case, I really just enjoy the iPod Nano a lot, and it's a wonderful little iPod here. Anyway, you got basic menu and selection theme things. There we go, and got an accelerometer. So turn it sideways, you get cover flow. And yeah, you just kind of spin your finger around there and you got some cover flow options, and you can kind of scroll through your music and all that. Under music, we don't see that much. We have cover flow, genius mixes, playlists, artists, albums, songs, genres, composers, audiobooks, and search. And search is annoying. I hate having to scroll through to search for something. It's just easier to go through your songs. Videos. It just plays videos, really. That's all it does. Now, one thing I like is that little selection menu down beneath. Oh my gosh, excuse me there. That nice little selection menu is great. Photos, I have no photos, I have no podcasts. We got a radio on here, which is great, but you gotta have the earphones plugged in, even though we do have a great built-in speaker. Something that the iPod Touch... No, I guess it did have one. Anyway, there is my iPod Touch on the camera. And it launches and loads just like the one on the iPhone. So here, let's take a look at it loading. It opens up just like the one on the iPod or the iPhone, even now the iPad and all. And yeah, this was back before the iPod had a camera, and back before the iPad as well. Anyway, there we go. We got different, really amazing that we have all these themes. We got normal, X-ray, sepia, black and white, thermal, cyborg, film grain, security cam, kaleido, mirror, bulge, motion, blur, dent, twirl, light tunnel, and stretch. In all, we have 16 effects to choose from, and they work in portrait and landscape. Again, that's the fantastic ability of that built-in accelerometer in the iPod. Under extras, we got alarms, calendars, clocks, etc., etc. Take time, pause it, read it if you feel like it. If you have an iPod Nano, you know what I'm talking about. Klondike, Maze, and Vortex are the 3 included games. I may do a review of these games later, but not right now. They're not that important. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, let's take a sample of the how well the music sounds. Yeah, I can't hear it well. Yeah, let's try that one. Yeah, not that bad. Not that great either, but not that bad. Anyway, the iPod Nano ends up being a perfect MP3 player, and you can just turn it off just by holding that button right there. So, very simple. Is it as amazing as an iPod Touch? Definitely. It's just as good as an iPod Touch. I would totally recommend it. Like, even if you have an iPod Touch, get one of these. I mean, I have a 16 gig Nano here, and they're perfect for watching TV on that little screen there. It's just perfect for watching TV, in my opinion. Where the iPod Touch, the 8 gigs is constantly running out for me, so if I buy a 5th gen, I'm going to get 32 or 64 gigabytes. I can't deal with 8 gigs. I'm always running out of space. So anyway, that's the iPod there, and here's the iPod Touch. Yeah, I'll do with what's on my iPod soon. Anyway, so there's the two iPods side by side. And here's the Galaxy Player 2. So, yeah, I love my electronics. Anyway, there's 3 of them side by side by side. And you can tell for yourself that the Nano is definitely the thinnest. And actually, the Apple products are the thinnest. In order, this is being the thickest down to the thinnest. I believe even the iPod Touch 2nd generation is thinner than this thing. I mean, this thing is just... It's thinner than an iPhone, but thicker than the iPod Touch. Any iPod Touch, really. I can't tell you about the 1st gen because I don't own one of those. If I did, I would be very happy with that. Anyway, so in the future, if you have been following me on Twitter, good for you. And you will know that I'm working on a new special. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. You might be happy you did, or you could be like, this guy is not that interesting. Anyway, I don't care what you think, because it's my channel, and I'll do what I want with it. So, yeah. Anyway, that was my review on the iPod Nano. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Or forget to subscribe. Forget to follow me. I don't care. Yeah. So anyway, iPod Nano, 5th generation. Better than the 6G in my opinion, which the 6th generation is that big. Let's see that thing put up a fight to this one, which I do have a video of me comparing these two iPods to each other, and they're just... This one won, really. I was just playing around in the Apple store, and I had my Nano with me, and I had my Touch with me, and I just started messing around with the two. And this totally is way better. Now, I do like the little touch screen thing, and if I was going to wear it as a watch, that would be fantastic. But, obviously, as you can tell, I don't wear watches. Because I have so many electronics, and all of them feature a clock. So I don't need them. I don't wear watches. Anyway, so if you have been following me on Twitter now, you will notice that I'm going to be doing a new special soon. Am I going to tell you what that is now? No. You have to wait and find out. Yeah, that'll bring you back to my channel, won't it? Probably not. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Yeah, I'm just blabbing now. Anyway, look back for the next review, and look back for my new features episode, which is going to be coming soon. I'll be telling you what that is by the end of the week.